actually our 50th episode of the Sports Battery this evening with my co-host Matt. How you doing this evening, Matt?
Our 50th episode, Monte. We're just getting started.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is just a start. And we have great news because the Caps are going to the playoffs along with the leading NHL scorer, Ovechkin, Alex, that is, you feel me? And we are less than 2 weeks away from the NFL draft.
So much going on, man.
So much going on. MLB is in the works right now.
It was the NBA playoffs, too.
NBA playoffs, the play-in just happened. So it's going to be very interesting. It looked like playoff Jimmy with Golden State is still a thing. Playoff Jimmy is still a thing. The Clippers are still
Love it.
Clippers are in, and people are talking about the Clippers making the finals if they stay healthy, which is crazy. So we'll see. It's going to be very interesting. The Orlando Magic, they advanced, and then you got apparently Damian Lillard now. He's cleared. He's still not playing Game 1 in the playoffs, but he's cleared.
Wow.
So we possibly will see him Game 2, Game 3. So we'll see. Playoffs are here.
But the biggest news in football right now is Derek Carr's injury.
Yep.
That shifts everything. I mean, I've given up on Aaron Rodgers, man. I don't think he's going to because the reason why he making a decision matters. It could have changed the landscape of the draft, right?
Yeah.
The Steelers pick at 21. That's going to be Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe. You heard it from me.
Think so?
I know so, dude. Because what do you think that they're really going to feel comfortable going in there with Mason Rudolph in week 1?
No.
No, exactly.
But I think the Saints will probably, since Derek Carr has went down, I think the Saints might pull the trigger and get Jackson Dart if
At
Shador
the
is still
9th
not there.
overall pick.
Yes, if Shador is still not on the board, I think the Saints will get Jackson Dart.
Well, we can run through we did our top 5 last segment. So you want to do 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 tonight?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. If you guys weren't with us, look at a previous episode. We did our opinions on the first 5 picks of the NFL draft. We could go down to 6 out of 10. So pick 6 would be the Raiders.
What do they need the most? Or who would be the best available?
I think they might go who the best available, honestly. Could
it be Austin Gente?
Could.
Ashton Gente, I'm sorry. But
Yeah,
the
you're
real
right.
question is, man, like Mason Graham, the defensive tackle from Michigan, I'm seeing mixed reports. That's a name I'm seeing in this range. What do you think about him?
I think he'll go top 10 because I think he's the number 1 D tackle, right?
So they say, but I've seen a lot of people say negative things about him, but I don't know him too well. I don't know much about this guy.
Yeah, I'm not too big on to him, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I know they're saying he might go top 10. He could fall with the Panthers or he could fall with the Jets, but I'm not sure because apparently the Jets said they could potentially take Austin Gente if he's still there, or Ashton Gente.
At the 7th pick with Brees Hall.
Yeah, with Brees Hall apparently, yeah. So we'll
Don't
see.
say
I'm
it,
not
man.
sure.
Wow, man. Well, so clearly they should probably pick him 6. I feel like Tom Brady won't screw that up.
To get Austin Gente?
Yeah, I think he's probably going to go to the Raiders then.
Okay. So in the Raiders, even though they got Geno Smith, you don't think they'll just go ahead and get the running back?
Well, who else are they going to get here?
Okay.
Well, let me ask you. Besides him, who are you taking with the 6th pick? I'm looking at the board. There's those 2 edges from Georgia. There's that corner from Texas, Jahadi Barron you talked about. I know that's your guy.
Yeah,
Omarion Hampton from North Carolina, the Tatoria McMillan from Arizona. That's the guy that they say is going to be the number one wide receiver in this draft. But
yep,
saying you got the sixth pick, they say Ty Warren from Penn State. But listen, man, you're the Raiders. You just got Brock Bowers. You don't need this Penn State tight end.
correct.
Yeah,
I
man,
think
go get Genty.
I feel like the Jaguars might probably take him.
Fifth overall, dude. That could be. But listen, man, now we have to recap that. So Cam Ward's definitely going first.
Correct.
So Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter, you think they're going second and third, or
Yes, I think
those are the top three.
I think Abdul is going to go second. I think so.
So, but even if he goes third, you think Hunter and Carter and Ward are all the first three picks, essentially.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Okay, so then you're the fourth team, the
And New
Patriots.
England,
What are they doing?
they'll probably get a defensive person or offensive lineman.
So you think they're getting Mason Graham from Michigan, possibly then?
Yeah, they possibly. No, I was saying they could, yeah, they could, or they can get the best offensive lineman available to protect. Because it looks like the Patriots are going to continue to go with Drake May, so they could potentially pick up an offensive lineman.
So I'm seeing Will Campbell from LSU is that guy essentially. He's the
Okay.
best lineman apparently.
Yeah.
So maybe, okay, that's interesting. So they have Shadur dropping then.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a mock draft right now that has him at the Raiders at 6. Genty at 7. Mason Graham at 8. Jackson Dart at 9, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm with the dude.
The ninth pick is the Saints, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like just because he went down, Derek Carr went down. I feel like Saints are going to go ahead and just pull on Dart.
No, total 100%, dude.
You know, especially if Shador is already gone.
But he could be. That's even crazy that we're talking about him going to 9 right now.
Yeah.
But he probably could, man, because, like, I look at it, he's definitely not going first. Sounds like the Browns don't want him. Sounds
Okay.
like the Giants don't want him.
Wow.
Well, the Patriots have Drake May. They definitely don't want him. The Jaguars have Lawrence. The Raiders at 6 could be a real possibility.
Yeah, you're right. Even with Geno Smith, I mean, like you said last year, you saw it with when the Falcons had got Kirk Cousins, and then
That's different. That's totally different.
yeah, but they
No,
still
here's
signed a
here's the
quarterback.
difference because Kirk Cousins signed a 4-year lucrative deal and Geno Smith took a veteran 2-year deal. There's a huge fucking difference in
But
that.
they still drafted a quarterback after just signing a veteran to a
I
decent
see
deal.
what you mean, but again, it's still a big deal. He's on a veteran sweetheart deal. He has to understand that another quarterback may be drafted. He's not going to complain. But Kirk Cousins, the money they gave him, he was blindsided when they took a quarterback.
Okay,
So Geno Smith, man, the deal you took at your age, at your veteran deal, it's with Tom Brady as a new owner, bro. You know that they're drafting a QB. It may not be Shadur this year, but it will be someone next year. Then. It
okay,
could be, man. I really think so. I think it's going to be 6 or 9 for Shadur because the Patriots at 4 and the Jags at 5 aren't going to do it.
right. I agree.
Do the Browns or Giants at 2 and 3 do they pull the trigger? That's a real question. But you have Abdul there and you have Travis Hunter there.
I think they're just gonna get the best available.
But what the hell do you have to lose with the Browns and Giants? Why not draft Shadur Sanders? Why? Because you're the Giants. You got Thibodeau, who was a top pick. You got Brian Burns. You don't need Abdul out there. And what does Travis Hunter do to elevate you if you're the Giants?
Well, it's a
Like,
big market, so it's probably be like, oh, we have a two-way star in New York.
yeah, but listen. Their GM let Saquon Barkley go, dude. He's totally gonna f this up, okay? But
Yeah,
between you and me, how is between you and me? I'm a Commanders fan. I don't want them to do well here, right? But do you honest to God think Travis Hunter's gonna make the Giants better?
right away, nah.
No, I don't even think so at all, to be honest with you. I don't think that that's going to turn the Giants around. I mean, I can only like the top draft corner I can remember is Jalen Ramsey. Like to come out of the draft and just dominate immediately. Who else can you think of from a cornerback
From a cornerback,
to be drafted and just start killing it from the beginning? There's Sertan.
yeah, I'm about to say Patrick Surtain for sure. Wiggins not too bad. He didn't do too bad his rookie year this past season.
I'm talking about like top draft corner picks, like top five
Oh,
guys.
top five, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
talking like Jalen Ramsey.
I can't really think off the top of my head of
It's
some.
not that many, you know what I mean? There's
Was
not
Darrell
that many.
Davis top five?
I don't think he was.
Okay.
But yeah, he was, Revis Island and all that. But you see what I'm saying? These
Yeah,
top
yeah, yeah.
five corners. There's Jalen Ramsey. Who else can you name?
Yeah, you're
Charles
right.
Woodson.
Right. Woodson.
Sean Taylor.
Right.
That's it, man. I swear there's no other ones.
Yeah, you gotta be like a lockdown. Was
I
Sauce last
really,
year in top five?
yeah, he was.
Okay.
But I don't think so. I mean, Sauce is good, but he's not at an elite level, in my opinion, yet. I wouldn't put him as one of the best corners in the league. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Like when Ramsey came on the scene, he's immediately one of the best.
Okay.
Is Travis Hunter going to be like that?
Ah, okay. I see what you're saying.
I don't think so, man. So that's what I'm saying. He goes to New York, so what? So
Okay.
what?
Okay.
I could be full of shit. Who knows, man? He could come in and be better than Ramsey. I don't know. You got to come out and show us, though.
Yeah, I agree.
But listen,
I
man.
agree.
So back to number 6 and 7. I think Gen T is one of those picks.
Okay.
It's either going to be a Raider or a Jet. What do you think?
If the Raiders select Gente,
Well, could he go
that
5?
means Shador will probably go to the Saints. If the Raiders choose Sanders, I think the Jets will get Gente. And then the Saints will pick up Jackson Dart.
So it's interesting. So let's say that Carter and Hunter and Ward are gone, and the Patriots definitely get this Will Campbell guy. The Jags at 5, are they passing on Gentee?
Yeah, probably.
So who are they getting then?
They'll
Could they
probably
get
get the tight end.
that Penn State tight end or that Michigan defensive tackle?
Correct.
But they're not going to get Shadur for sure. But
Nah.
they could get Austin Gentee here.
They could, but they need an offensive line. I know they were saying that like all year that they needed a line.
That's what makes it so interesting, man. The Raiders are getting Sanders or Gentee. That's definitely like guaranteed. Then the Jets are getting Gentee if he's there. But if he isn't, who do they get?
The Jets.
Yeah, the Jets at 7. If they're not getting Gentee, who are they getting at 7?
That's the big question. They might. They could go defense.
But who's there, man? There's going to be Mason Graham for
Yeah.
Michigan. They have him at 8 to the Panthers, but
Yeah.
you're
But
running this
I don't know.
back.
We'll see. If Gentee's not there, the Jets probably definitely gonna go defense. Don't forget their head coach is a defensive used to be a defensive player and a defensive coach. So
But I'm
I don't
serious, man.
know.
I see Gentee as 6 or 7.
Okay.
So I'm gonna look at those markets, but I see Jackson Dart at 9 for sure. And I have absolutely no idea who the Bears are going to get, but they have to get an
Offensive
offensive
line.
lineman. Yeah, everybody
And but
knows.
about it. That's what they should have did the past 2 years. Instead of letting go Justin Fields, they should have just got two. They just built offensive linemen. Ridiculous. They did him dirty, but it's whatever though.
How about
Caleb's from the DMV, so still support.
how about some trades, man? Any trade ups?
Um, I don't know about any trade ups. I won't be surprised if we see like the Bengals or somebody like
Trade up.
trade up.
Dude, I had them as a dog. I told you, man, I had them as a dark horse to get Ashton Shanty. But they don't have you see the amount of money they're spending on three guys, I see them more likely to trade down the Bengals than trade up because they got to get some rookies, man, that they can play with those guys they're paying. That's how it
Oh
works.
yeah, I see what you're saying. But they just gotta get defensive players. I know that. So they
Yeah,
might be right. They might trade and
those
get
are my
Marlon
trade down
Mack.
guys. The Commanders are a huge trade down team too. You look at the Lattimore trade, the Laramie Tunsil trade, and the Debo trade. I could totally see our GM trading our first round pick, the 29th overall pick, for like
Yeah, that's
two
because you
picks.
guys have hella picks.
Well, listen, man, I can totally see him trading this 29th overall pick for like two top second rounders. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
I could totally see it, or I could just see us getting an edge rusher because we just lost Dante Fowler Jr.
right.
Do you think the Ravens get at let's see 27? So that's two picks before us.
They thinking we're gonna get Malik Starks or Malachi Starks,
Oh, that yeah, I saw that.
um, or we're gonna get an edge rusher. It's gonna be either one of those two. That's our need.
Same. I remember the year we drafted Ryan Kerrigan. I had no idea who he was on draft day, man. I was like, oh, he's an edge rusher from Purdue. Let's see, and he's our franchise leader in sacks. So you never know with these guys, man. You never know.
Yeah, bro.
That's
Never know.
crazy. Out of all the names, man, Ryan Kerrigan's our franchise leader. Remember Osakpo?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was wild. I remember when we drafted Osakpo and they showed his like branding of the horseshoes on his arm. Now
Oh
that's a
yeah.
defensive end. Yeah, man. From Texas.
He's
But it's
balling.
crazy, man. It's crazy. The Ravens, I mean, listen, the Ravens could use some more defensive help, couldn't they?
That's what we need ASAP, man. We need secondary or somebody to get after that quarterback. So we didn't do much for that for free agency. So we just got
This
D Hop.
safety from Georgia. Yeah, but you say what you will about D Hop. All the money you're paying Henry and Lamar, you're not supposed to get a guy like Devonte Adams. You don't have the money for that.
No, I'm not saying it's bad about D Hop. I was just saying like we used our free agency to get a veteran receiver. Now we just got to use the draft to get a young secondary guy.
Yeah, this Malik Starks, man, that'd be great.
Yeah, bro, he's nice. I think he's a two-time All-American too. So
Jahadi Barron from Texas, possibly. That's kind of a stretch for him to drop to 27. I don't think so.
okay,
But you know what? You know who's a name to watch is Omarion Hampton.
yeah,
Who he could be in the 20s, the teens. That's totally the type of guy where it's like, he's coming in, but he's a running back, and everyone's talking about how we're not going to pay running backs. It's guys like him, man. We have Brian Robinson Jr. and Eckler for one more year, so I can totally see them getting this guy with a late first rounder.
it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah, but Jackson Dart, number 9, man, it would shock me, man. I think it's at plus odds that the Saints pick a QB.
Yeah, bro.
It would shock me if they don't.
If they don't, then I don't know what their GM is doing either, bro.
Cause Who are you gonna start? Ryan Tannehill?
They're gonna have to, or they're gonna have to pick up a quarterback. They're definitely picking up a quarterback.
I think the draft gets crazy at the fifth pick is what we learned, man. Like it's not it's not clear what the Browns and Giants are gonna do, but it's pretty obvious who's gonna be there, right? But the Patriots at 4 and the Jags at 5. I'm telling you, man, I think Gentee goes 6 or 7.
All right. Okay.
Possibly 5. 5, 6, or 7. I don't th-
Okay.
I don't know, man. Unless the page 4 to 7, but there's no way he goes past the 7th pick. What do you think?
He's gonna be gone, bro. Those first three
No
quarterbacks
way he
names.
goes past the 7th.
Yeah, nah. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting. But yeah, so I guess we'll see with the first 10 picks. See if Jackson Dart's gonna get picked up. It would be crazier if someone
Remember,
trades and picks them up instead. So it's gonna be very interesting. This draft is gonna be very. It's gonna be one of them ones we probably gonna be looking back on and be like, damn. You know what I mean? So it's pretty
well,
loaded class. So it's pretty exciting.
there's a lot of quarterbacks to be taken in the late first round that have been okay. So not all QBs are top
Exactly.
5 guys, man. So there's Steelers at 21. That could be Jalen Milrow. It could be Will Howard. I'm hearing T.J. Watt wants out now, so maybe that's an edge rusher right there. Maybe that's one of those Georgia edges. I don't think they're going to be there at 21, but maybe it's an edge.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because T.J. Watt apparently wants out, and you know where he's coming, right? He's coming to Commanders. We almost got Myles Garrett. We can go get T.J. Watt now.
Yeah, I feel you. That'd be good. That'd be cool. That'd be dope.
Can you imagine T.J. Watt just sacking Jalen Hurts, man? That'd be fucking awesome.
I like it. I like it. Okay. Well, guys, y'all heard it here first on our opinions on the first 10 picks of the draft. If you guys didn't see the last episode, we talked about the first 5 picks. Go check that out. This episode, we talked more about the 6th through the 10th picks and overall first 10 picks in NFL draft. Thank you for tuning in to our 50th episode of the Sports Battery, and we will see you guys next time. Peace out.